This is my path, my journey. I'm willing to explain it all to you guys. No holding back anything. I just hope you're ready for the experience, and I just hope you can handle it. I've made a lot of videos today, and yeah, I've just had a lot on my mind. I mean, I always have a lot on my mind. I'm going through so many things, and I know that's no excuse because we're all going through shit. But it's like I feel like I'm going through a lot for some reason. It's like what the fuck. Um, but that's life, you know. And that's not what I want to talk about though. What I want to talk about is don't mind me. What I want to talk about is I want to talk about plants, psychedelics. I want to talk about deep connection. I want to first say, disclaimer, I'm not saying do substances. I'm not saying, um, anything like that. And, the whole ask your doctor, before you do anything type shit. And that is serious. Like, literally, ask your doctor. I don't know. I have a different relationship with my doctor. My doctor's pretty cool. Um, so I tell him everything, really. I mean, all the herbs I take and all the things I do, and his son's a vegan, so, so literally, ask your doctor. Um, but now that that's over with, what I really want to, talk about here is, so I use kratom, cannabis, those are the main herbs I use every single day, okay? Besides that, um, there are like lately I've been using chaga mushroom every single day as well. Um, so what I mean by lately is for like the past, I mean for 6 months, right? 6 months ago I was using chaga for like 2 months. Then I stopped for a month. Then I started using it again for a month. And I stopped for a month. Now I've been using it, ever since, and I've been using it for a while now, and I definitely can feel the difference when I use chaga. Like, and chaga is an amazing herb because I feel like chaga does something with the third eye as well. It's hard to explain, but I feel like it helps connect with others. Like when I'm having a conversation with somebody when I'm on chaga, right? I feel like I'm more into it. I feel like I'm more into the conversation. I'm more into what they're talking about. Like it's almost like I can envision what they're saying. Like I'm living what they're saying, like better. My mind works like that anyways. But I mean, I'm able to do it better. So so that's a one reason why I like chaga. But the other reason why I like chaga, it is a get up and go, but a calming get up and go with a clear head, very clear minded, very, I don't know, I can feel it, but yet it's not too overwhelming. Even when I do have a dark black chaga, cup, like a cup of chaga that's just black, looks like coffee. Um, Even when I have it that dark, it's not too overwhelming at all, um, and yeah, it's an herb that I don't have to measure necessarily. Like what I do is I bought a pound of chaga and I just crush it up as much as I can, um, and then I brew that basically in a big pot, and I make a lot of it at a time, and I don't measure it because I'm looking for a color, not a how much did I put in there to be this and that, and you know, really, chaga was just, I don't know, it's amazing, but at the same time, cannabis, of course, cannabis was the first herb that I've ever used. So because cannabis was the first herb I've ever used, um, it definitely opened my mind because of course most people know what cannabis does now because cannabis is becoming acceptable everywhere, even though that all the most of the plants I use are completely legal, right? Like all the herbs that I use on the daily basis are legal, um, and it's like cannabis, some places is still not legal, but it's becoming acceptable around the world now. Even in places where it's not legal, it's becoming more acceptable. But it's funny that plants, um, like kratom, is not as acceptable, but yet is legal. Other plants, there are other plants that are legal as well that are not as acceptable either. But it's like, it's because they're not glorified, they're not glamorized by the mass public. I also, so I use these plants every day, right? Now, there's people that smoke cigarettes every day that know it's not good, but yet are not going to get looked down upon or judged on or whatever because of it. So if I was just to tell people, listen, I use kratom cannabis, um, sometimes wild daga, blue lotus, and I can keep the list going. Gynostema, ashwagandha, lion's mane mushroom, chaga mushroom. Like these are the plants that I have acquired to use in my life, and I don't use these things just to get herbed out or to get fucked up or to, In the beginning, it was like I was trying to figure out the mass feeling that these plants can give me, and like after taking these plants, I started getting a little spiritual with it. The way that I look at these things, the way that I feel like I'm connecting with something or someone when I'm taking a plant now. It's not just me taking a plant. Oh, the effects are good for this and that. If you have this, it's good for this, and it's not like that for me. It's like I take these plants to connect. Like I base it on their personality. If their personality matches with my personality, that's why I use it every day. Um, it's like lion's mane mushroom. I was using that every day for like 50 days, and because I had 50-day worth, of it, and I basically tried it out, and I absolutely love it. And I've tried it before, but I wanted to try it again just to make sure that it was the effects I got before or the effects I got now, and it was from a different vendor. And yeah, the effects are the effects. I love I love lion's mane. All the medicinal mushrooms are absolutely amazing for the mind. For me, like I also like use L-theanine. I don't know, weekly, I guess you can say, because I don't use it every day, but I do use it every week. Um, but it's like all these things that I've acquired into my life that I've began to use, they've helped me not get out of the psychedelic mindset, right? Because a lot of people talk about, so we use psychedelics because, I can't say why you use psychedelics, but why I use psychedelics. Like I use them to connect with something much bigger than myself. I've always learned it for knowledge. I was on the pursuit of knowledge in the beginning. I just wanted to learn and understand the psychedelic experience. Understand like what do people mean when they say this thing talks to you? Like what do you mean? What do you mean that this is what happens when you die or so and all this other shit? Like I wanted to understand what these people meant, so I dived deep and I understood, and now I understand. And um it's and it was that calling. It was the calling that I got, and I get that same calling with these plants because I just want to understand. And like I now understand that when a plant is giving you its feeling, like when cannabis gets you high, that high is just the way the cannabis plant feels. The way the cannabis plant feels, the way it experiences life, the knowledge that it has gained through life, through its whole experience collectively on planet Earth since it's been here, is literally downloaded inside of the cannabis experience. Get high and you'll figure it out. Now, there's two ways to experience cannabis. You can smoke it or you can eat it. In eating it, you will get a deeper, more connecting effect with the plant than you would if you were to smoke it. It's the same thing with anything. Like I feel like when you smoke something, it's not as spiritual to me. Like for example, I smoke canna, okay, and canna is another plant that I forgot to mention because I smoke canna extract occasionally as well, and that's something I don't use every day. I don't even really use that every week, but I do use it every month, and but it's just canna extra. The canna extract I have is very strong. It's 100 to 1. No, yeah, it's 100 to 1. So it's a very strong extract, and you just need a little bit, sprinkle a little bit on a bowl of cannabis, and I'm not saying you do that. I'm saying that's what I do, but I'm just saying I sprinkle a little bit on a bowl of cannabis, and I just smoke that, and Literally, the effects of that are more potent than some other plants that I use. But yet, I would say that it's not as spiritual. Now, I don't know if it's because of the plant itself, it may be the personality of the plant itself, or or it could be because the way that I've always used it. I've never used canna any other way besides smoking it. So, but I don't know. I just think when I take these plants, when I ingest the plants, it's usually it's kind of spiritual for me. Like besides, I've noticed that some plants do certain things to my mind. So when I'm not on kratom, for example, I've noticed that I'm more philosophical or more. I don't know. It's hard to explain. When I take kratom, every day because I'm getting ready to. I'm basically on a kratom break right now. Like, I've only took my first dose today was 3 grams. Second dose was 2 grams. And the third dose today is going to be 1 gram, and then tomorrow I'm just not going to take any. But I'm basically going on a kratom break because I'm going to be experiencing another plant that I can't be on kratom for. But what I mean is, like, this is what I do. This is just who I am. I'm a guy that likes to connect with plants and Mother Nature, and I understand that when I'm on this plant, this is how it is, and I can't be on this plant if I'm taking this plant and this, that, and third. I'm very educated on the things I'm doing, and I preach education more than anything. Like more than anything, I want people to educate themselves. I want people to go out, like if they were to hear about a plant or hear about something that helps somebody else out, don't just go use a plant because you heard one guy talk about it. Go do some deep ass research because I've done deep research on everything I've done. Like before I did DMT, I did a year's worth of research, literally 1 year of research, mainly because I couldn't find any for a whole entire year. But like honestly, I think that people just need to broaden their education. Facebook is not education. There is educational things on Facebook, but that doesn't mean that if you read something on Facebook, you're like, yeah, I've done some research. I know what I'm talking about. That's what people think research is. And that's not what research is. Like a lot of times I'll read research papers that colleges have done. I'll do a little digging. I'll dig. I want to dig and dive deep and I want to understand. And that's what I do with all these plants that I use. That's what I did with chaga. That's what I do with, some of these plants, honestly, like the main plant that I did not do that with was cannabis because I tried cannabis way too young to ever, want to even think about that. I tried cannabis before I was using the internet. So it was just, I tried it too young. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that these things help me out so much in my life, right? And I like to connect with Mother Nature. And this is why I haven't left the psychedelic mindset. This is why it's like, I don't know. I just know that this is who I am. This is what I am. This is what I do. This is just, I'm not scared to be me. I'm not, I don't know. They could take away all the plants I'm using, and I'll end up trying 50 more plants, and I'll end up finding 5 of them that I love, and I'll use those 5 plants instead. They take away those 5 plants, I'll try 100 more plants, and it's like this is what I do. I like to. You'll never take away my connection with Mother Earth, my connection with where I come from, because that's where our history is laid out is in the plants. We have lost our history. We have lost history. Like there's been a lot of library burnings and ancient libraries being burned, book burnings, and all this other bullshit to try to hide a lot of knowledge, to try to hide the knowledge of Ormus, to try to hide the knowledge of Blue Lotus, to try to hide the knowledge of the mushroom, to try to hide the knowledge of ayahuasca, try to hide the knowledge of San Pedro, of peyote, try to hide the knowledge of all of these things that they try to hide the knowledge of. But I'm telling you, the knowledge is available. It's the plants are still here. That's what I mean by the knowledge is still available. The knowledge is right here. You want to know how I've gained a lot of my knowledge? I gained a lot of it through the internet, right? But at the same time, 50% of it I gained through the internet, and 50% of it I gained through direct personal experience with these plants. Direct personal experience with, the spirit molecule. Mainly, that's where I got my knowledge from, with the spirit molecule. But then the plants allowed me to, I don't know, get the thoughts together and to be able to put out into a physicalness, because it's hard to get the knowledge out of the psychedelic experience, but the plants helped me do that. So, and they continuously help me because they help me stay in that mindset, even though the walls are not breathing or nothing like that. I used to have HPPD, but honestly, I think motherwort and wild daga took that away because, they said motherwort was used for something like that, I don't know. There was just this thing I read a while back about motherwort being used as like a something to calm somebody's psychosis or something like that. Just and like I said, I'm not a doctor, and I always talk to a doctor about things, but I've done a lot of research on everything I do, and some of the things that I've researched are probably wrong because there is a lot of conflicting things out there where it's like you'll read on one scientific like research paper that they did about the plant, and then you read another university did another research paper on that plant, and their research found conflicting evidence with the other research. So it's like they just conflict against each other, and you don't know what's right and what's wrong. And it's like, but then at that point you just take the plant yourself and figure it out for yourself, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I just think that I've been able to find the plants that work for me. It's not what's going to work for you. It might, but most likely it might not. There's been a lot of times where people have told me that, they went out and got something that, I was saying, yeah, this was great for me. And they said that it didn't work for them. And it's probably because of what they're looking for. I'm not looking to get high. I'm not looking to get fucked up. I'm looking to connect spiritually deeply, and I'm looking to connect with the personality of the plant. If the personality of the plant, like I said, matches with mine, then I'll use it. But if not, then I'm not going to use it. There's been many plants that I've used that I do not use daily, that I haven't used since I've tried it. I might have gotten, 5 ounces of it and never got it again because I didn't really click with it as much. But there are a lot of plants, like around in my home area that I've been able to realize that grow around here, and that's why I tried them. Like blue vervain. The only reason I tried blue vervain is because I realized it grew down by the river in my area. So that means it grows naturally. It grows naturally so much in my area that I can get kilos from here. So it's like, obviously the natives from right here were using it. And there is a lot of medicinal values to it that I've read up on, but I just think that we need to connect with Mother Nature. We need to connect with these plants. They're here. A lot of people get stuck on psychedelics, thinking that it's all about the psychedelics, and it's not necessarily all about the psychedelics. It's just the psychedelics are like the thing that shows you Mother Nature in the universe and puts you in front of it and throws you in direct contact with it. But these plants do it a lot more subtle. But it's still the same thing. Still the same place. Still the same connection, same being that we're connecting to. But it's like, I look at it like this. All the plants are have different personalities, just like all humans have different personalities. All humans are connected to the oneness, just like all plants are connected to Mother Nature. It's like, get to know these plants, and we need to get to know each other. We need to connect in general. We need to connect with each other more. We need to connect with the plants more. We need to connect with psychedelics. Don't just use psychedelics to trip balls to go to a rave. Go to the rave. If you're at the rave, go back to your tent and meditate or something. Do something. These things are so much deeper. We don't realize what we're doing on planet Earth. We don't realize what planet Earth really is. And what she really is a conscious being that is sad because we're disconnected from her. Sad because, it's lonely in this universe. And we don't realize that because we're in the physical realm, But it's lonely in this universe. That's why we need to reconnect with Mother Nature, because ever since I've reconnected with Mother Nature, I feel better. Nobody can fuck my mood up. Nobody can fuck with me. Nobody has control over me. Nobody, You could talk shit about me all day. You can say I'm a tree hugger, and I love it. I'm proud to be a tree hugger. I don't give a fuck what people call me. I don't care what people think about me. I have this deep connection with Mother Nature, and it's good to know that something or someone has your back. And I know that the universe and Mother Nature has my back. So that's why I'm fine no matter what. I'm good. I'm living life. I'm doing me. I'm following my dreams. I'm following my goals. I'm connecting with the plants. I'm living in the moment. I'm loving the moment. Yeah, I'm loving the moment, but yeah, I'm setting up the road for the future. So it's just I'm living. And you know, you're going to be misunderstood in life, especially if you're thinking outside the box. You know, Albert Einstein was like labeled as crazy, and I'm pretty sure a lot of geniuses were labeled as crazy, but it's all right. A lot of shamans are labeled as crazy. That's all right. Shamans are just scientists and philosophers and astrologers, and that's all a shaman is. Way before the astrologer existed, the shaman existed. You know, this is where it all comes from. It all comes from the shaman. People mistake shit. People misunderstand that a shaman, you know, is a very intelligent person. People think the shaman is the madman, but really the shaman is the mad scientist, the mycologist, the plant biologist. The shaman is every fucking thing you can imagine: science level, astrology level, deep philosophy level, the medicine man. Like, the shaman was all that because he understood, because he gained his knowledge from the plants. Because like I said, the plants contain the knowledge that have been lost. The knowledge that we lost in the book burnings, the plants still have. Because you can burn the plants. But, you know, as long as there's that those plants are connected on a deep level. They store their knowledge just like we store our knowledge in a collective database in the universe. The plants also store their knowledge in a collective database inside of the universe as well. And it's just all just knowledge, man. I wish I could explain it and show you guys, but if you, like, what I know is that you might not have the same experience that I have had with the spirit molecule, with these plants, with whatever, but my intention is the reason why I've had these experiences, because my intention is to connect, my intention is to learn, my intention is to understand who I am and not to be scared of what I find out, because a lot of people will find out the information, be scared to admit that to themselves, scared to admit that because they know their friends will judge them as crazy, scared, just fear. They allow fear to get involved. Now you have two choices, fear or love. And I choose love over everything because, you know, it feels good. Fear does not feel good, yet people want to feel it all the time. You know, we've been taught that feeling good is bad. You know, we look at getting high as bad. We look at all these things as bad because, oh yeah, it's bad to feel good. That's what they want us to think because they got us brainwashed. Unbrainwash ourselves and reconnect with Mother Nature. And you'll realize that that feels great to reconnect with Mother Nature. It feels great to have the whole planet on your side. But you have to reconnect. So, take this time to reconnect. Get after this video, go outside. It's starting to get nice out. Spring is right around the corner. And just look at a tree. Look at a plant. And just think to yourself, like, I say I love you, plant. Say I love you, tree. The sun. I love, like, love can be expressed to any object. Not just a human. Not just your dog. What's the difference from saying I love my dog from saying I love my plant? They're both alive. Love every living being. I love you guys. Peace.